Where's the walrus? Do do do. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Edward Redux, and today this is a test of the the Canon EOS R5C, which is actually a cinema camera, which means it's mainly for making videos and movies. It's very videography based. You know, the shutter button is red for record. And it doesn't have a record button in the same location, although it does have another button there, which is a custom button. You can customize so many things about this thing. And one thing I found out is there's a lot of noise in the video and low light on this camera, which is a bit unfortunate, and I'm sure there's a way to fix that. I'm sure Canon wouldn't have made a camera that's worse than the R6 at video stuff. For cinema stuff. I'm sure they wouldn't have done that. So obviously there's some way to fix that. We just have to figure it out. We have to devour the 3-part manuals, because this has firmware for video and firmware for photo stuff as well, and they're 2 different manuals. And right now I really only care about the video side. This can shoot an 8K 30, although we have SanDisk Ultra SD cards, so we will not be doing that because our cards are so bad they can't even shoot in the higher 4K mode. I can only shoot in the lower bandwidth 4K 60 mode, which is good enough for me. If we can fix the noise problem, the problem is the mic is mono, so that's kind of aids, but it should at least be good and not crappy sounding, and well, basically like the other Canon camera mics, except 1, it shoots PCM, and 2, it's probably very good. I haven't heard it, but hopefully it's good. When I tested it on my, when I had my dad review some of the footage from this camera on his computer, the mono track just went straight to a subwoofer. No sound was coming out of any other speaker. So that was kind of weird. I don't know why I did that. Something about his setup just sending the mono, any mono track, straight to the subwoofer, which is weird. But anyway, so that's a problem with this camera, is it only shoots mono, or it only its internal microphone is mono. You can get additional microphones that you can stick on the top, like a shotgun mic or something, that will you know, have a boost in sound quality if you get the right ones. And well, the camera can record a stereo from those, so that's pretty cool. But I kind of want that built in, so I'm probably just gonna have that add-on on the top of it at all times if we get one. But the one I'm looking at is freaking $300, and this is already a $3,500 camera body, so that's a lot of money to be spending on additional stuff that should be built into the camera to begin with. Of course, most people that buy this camera, they're not going to be using the internal mic. I plan to use it pretty much for everything, so I really need it to be good. But for those who are wondering why the hell we even bought this thing to begin with, well, it's because the R6 II, which is a $2,000 camera body, it overheats in 20 minutes recording 4K 60, which is weird because one night I just set it to record 4K 60 and it lasted 2 hours. So I'm not sure what happened there. Probably because it was all black, because I just set it and then went to bed. So that's probably why. It's probably because the scene was all black and it was really easy to process by the camera, so it just wasn't doing as much work. So it lasted 2 hours and then it overheated. But the SD card would have filled up after a few more minutes anyway, so yeah. because that sucks. That's because the R6 II, like all the other Canon cameras, including this one actually, they're all back in like 24 nanometer processes, which basically means the specific circuits inside the camera, they're small. They're not as small as like a MacBook CPU, for example. Like, they're not as compact, which means they're not as efficient, which means they generate more heat, they use more power. Which also means that all the cameras overheat, except the ones that have fans. This is the only one in the line that has a fan at all. All the others, they have everything else we need, but they don't have a fucking fan. So that's really pissing me off, because we have this thing which has a whole bunch of capabilities. It can shoot in 8K 30 if I got a $300 compact flash card, but it has a mono microphone instead of the stereo one that its non-Z counterpart has. This is more for professionals to make movies and TV shows with. This is less of a camcorder, like a consumer product. The R6 II is more of a consumer product than this thing is. And that pretty much just works out of the box. This seems to be an actual professional camcorder. You really need to devour the manual before you can use it, which I'm not going to do. I can't do manuals. I've never been able to do manuals. I can really follow instructions. So I'm having someone else do that and just bring me bullet points. And basically, the only thing I need to do now is get rid of the noise and put a microphone on this thing. Because a mono microphone, yeah, I'm sure that would work, especially if it doesn't suck. But I'm assuming it's going to sound bad, because it's mono. So yeah, we have to fix that. And that's really stupid. They should have just built in like a normal stereo microphone array, like every other camera they have. Like, they could have done that, but they just didn't. It's a really stupid decision they made. Another thing that's stupid is all the other cameras can only record for 20 minutes because they don't have a fan. This has a fan. This has an adjustable fan, actually, kind of like the Lumix does, except this is twice the price. What kind of sucks about that is they look different, but they're about the same quality, although the Canon is twice as expensive as the Lumix. The problem is the Lumix has mic issues, and now this has mic issues because it's a mono microphone, but hopefully, again, we can get an add-on for that solves that problem, more or less. And I tested this for 2 hours, and it didn't overheat once in a decently lit environment with some moving things, so I'm going to say this is going to do well, because if it lasts like an hour without overheating, then it's good enough. The problem is, again, I plan to actually use this as a versatile camera. I plan to carry it around, point it at things, and talk about them. You can't do that with a goddamn mono microphone, and having to retrieve a freaking like microphone to put here just so I can film a video for 10 seconds or whatever. That just defeats the whole purpose of having a versatile camera. So it really needs to be built in. Yeah, so hopefully this quality is okay. I haven't actually seen much of this footage myself, and the LCD is like weirdly like zoomed out. Like, the picture is actually it's letterboxed. It's letterboxed and pillar boxed for some reason. Probably because the video needs to be clean and not have a whole bunch of crap all over it. It says the battery is only going to last 15 minutes. I really hope that's not true, because if so, that makes this completely useless. Because again, it would only be able to shoot for 25 minutes before the battery runs out, and well, there's no bigger batteries for this. If this lasts 15 minutes, it'll only last 15 minutes. I mean, there's no escaping that. So I might have to carry a freaking battery bank around with me, like an AC battery bank. which I have one of those, and I'm assuming it would work for this, but it would one, introduce more noise, and two, look really stupid, because I would have to have this huge backpack on my back, or a backpack of some sort, with a battery bank, and the AC adapter, and then coming out and going into the camera. It's just really freaking stupid. I don't know why Canon does this. They're their own worst enemy. They're making it so that it's really hard to make 4K 60 YouTube videos, which is about the what people should be doing right about now if they can, is making 4K 60 videos. My goddamn phone could do that, so why can't Canon's hyper expensive $2,000, $3,000 cameras? Why is my phone better than them? That's what I want to know, and I think Canon should answer for this by making, better chips instead of making accelerators, because that's not fixing anything. That's just adding more complexity and more problems. So that doesn't solve shit. Canon, actually try. Actually, make a good product. Don't shove a 25 nanometer chip that's supposed to do 4K 60 into a camera body without a fan and expecting people to buy that shit. Because I'm not buying that shit. We're returning that. So yeah, Canon, do better, and hopefully we will fix the noise issue, and this is the camera that we'll be using. But at this point, I have no idea. This could have some random thing that goes wrong with it that is unfixable, like either the noise or the mic. And if one of those two things can't be fixed, like if both of them can't be fixed, it's completely useless. And the battery, no, if this can only shoot for 25 minutes on a battery, it's completely useless. That you would have to go back to film to find a runtime that bad. Like consumer film cameras from the 50s and shit. Canon, what are you doing? Do better than this shit. This is awful. Can you actually stop recording? Jesus.